That's it. Joe, this old wagon is mighty heavy.
You gotta suffer a little bit to be champion.
You sure we're going about this the right way, Joe?
Of course, I'm positive. Please, let me do the thinking. All right, 25. How about it now? Come on! That's it. That's it. Good. Very good. All right, let it down easy. Easy. Oh, I told you to be careful. You know I got a bad back.
I'm sorry, Joe.
That's all right. I'll be all right in a minute. I'm bushed. Well, that was 3 more than yesterday. You're in shape.
Joe, you don't reckon we're going off on the deep end of this whole idea?
You're not getting scared, are you?
No, I ain't scared, but that Burnett, you got me picking up everything and pushing and pulling everything on the wrench. I'm gonna be so pooped I can't get into Virginia City.
Boss, that's called conditioning. Conditioning.
Yeah.
Now, we've gone along with it this far, haven't we? With this training program? All right, just trust me a little bit longer.
Yeah. I'll let you do the managing, Joe, but it seems to me like I'm doing all the work.
Boss, I'm giving you half of my winnings, aren't I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
That's all right. All right, you ready for the thumping exercises? Let's have at it. Okay. You ready, Hoss? All right. Let's do something different today. Your head's in shape. We'll work on the body.
All right.
All set? All right. You're getting there. You're getting there. You all set, brother? Hoss, you there. You are there.
What's going on here? Oh, hi, Paul. I'm in training.
You're in training? In training for what?
Why, tell him, manager.
Well, you know that circus that's coming in town in a few days, Pa?
Yeah?
Well, they have a wrestler in the circus, see? His name is Bearcat Sampson. Well, they will give $100 to any man who can pin this Bearcat Sampson in 5 minutes.
And you're the one who's going to do it.
We sure are.
Hoss, heaven knows you're as sturdy as a Missouri mule, but well, this Bearcat Sampson or whatever his name is, he's a professional wrestler. He makes his living at it.
Pa, Hoss is in shape. Look at him. This Bearcat or anybody else won't stand a chance with him. You can't knock him off his feet.
Hoss, this man knows every trick in the book. Now, do you really think you're ready for him?
Well, I don't know, Paul, but I sure hate to think about all this training we've been going through just going to waste.
Well, if you want to get your lumps, don't let me stop you.
Thanks, Pa. Don't worry. We'll be careful.
Oh, I'll straighten all them out, Paul.
Start straightening right now.
Yes, sir. They'll be good as new by breakfast.
I want you to do me a favor.
Oh, sure, Paul.
Now, when Mr. Ramsey from the railway company comes over this afternoon to discuss putting that spur across a piece of our property.
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
Will you two stay out of sight? I don't want him to think that whatever your problem is hereditary.
Take on all challenges. That's it, dear. Cut right in there. Now start horse right away. Hurry, hurry, hurry. See Bearcat Sampson take on all challenges. Come on, ho, get in here, folks. Come on, wait a minute. All right, go ahead. As you folks know, the Tweedy Circus is prepared to pay $100 to any man who can throw and pin Bearcat Sampson in a 5-minute fall. Bearcat.
Hey, Joey, he does look professional to me.
Who, him? He's all brains and no brawn. You'll murder him. He's never run in anything like you before.
You reckon?
We'll pin him. We'll flatten him. We'll literally rip him limb from limb.
Where are you getting that we stuff?
Wait a minute. You think for 1 minute you'd be sitting here right now if it wasn't for me?
No, I reckon you're right, Joe. Thanks.
What are brothers for?
And for a try at the $100 today, we've got, Huss Cartwright.
Oh, God love him, but I think that Missouri mule-like brother of mine is about to be had.
Oh, looks in pretty good condition to me.
Well, you're not forgetting that he's being managed by Little Joe.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same I'll bet you your next month's wages on Hoss.
Well, now, I don't like betting against my own kin, but money's money.
You're on.
And now, folks, the big contest will begin. Cartwright.
All right, this is it.
Line him with footwork, boss. Now, you both know the rules. Understand? You pin old Bearcat in 5 minutes, and $100 is yours.
Let's go.
Go!
Come on, Hoss, get him!
Give it to him! Free wages out of you.
Hasn't won yet.
All right, pin him! Oh, stop squeezing him and pin him! Oh, the time's running out! Pin him! Time!
Well, that extra month's pay sure gonna come in handy.
If Hoss hadn't frozen the handle, he'd have pinned Bearcat easily.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's a big, strong boy, but gotta play by the rules, pal. The rules.
Well, you keep up the smart talk, boy. I'll give you some rules to follow.
Oh, my ribs. I think they busted. I'm sorry, Mr. Bearcat. I guess I just got carried away or something.
Oh, you got carried away, all right. Didn't you hear Mr. Tweedy say you had to pin him? Pin him to the ground.
You mean we ain't gonna get that 100?
You heard the rules.
Oh, my managing wasted.
I sure feel bad about this, Mr. Tweedy.
You feel bad? How do you think he feels? We better get him to a doctor. Come on.
Let's give him a hand.
Sure hope I didn't bust none of old Bearcat's ribs.
Well, you sure knocked us out of $100 by squeezing him so long.
You did it, Hoss Cartwright. Crack 4 Bearcat's ribs.
Yeah, well, we sure didn't do it intentionally, Mr. Tweedy.
Well, that ain't the point. First, I lost all my wild animals at Carson City. And now, Bearcats will have to be laid up 2, maybe 3 weeks. And outside of old Sheba, I haven't got any other attraction for the Tweedy Circus.
Who's old Sheba?
A lop-eared elephant who pulls the circus wagon.
Sure am sorry, Mr. Tweedy.
Feeling sorry ain't gonna keep the Tweedy Circus from going under. Or feed Bearcat's wife and 5 kids.
5 kids?
With a wife.
Sure wish there's something I could do.
Well, now, son, there just might be now.
How could you even think of doing a thing like that?
Well, Paul, all we did was promise Mr. Tweedy that I'd take Bearcat's place just for 3 weeks, just till he got back on his feet again.
Yeah, Mr. Tweedy's in real bad straits.
Oh, it's real bad straits. What about me? I need you here. We got to supply the ties for that railroad contract I signed with Ramsey.
Yeah, well, see, if we'd have known about that, Pa, then we never would have signed that contract with Mr. Tweedy.
You signed a contract with Tweedy?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, Bearcat's 5 little kids were involved, Pa.
And a wife.
Well, I think you better let him go. Give him a chance to see the cold, cruel world.
You stay out of this, Adam.
So your contract with Tweedy is more important than my contract with Ramsey. Is he paying you as much as I am?
I'm glad you asked that. You see, Paul, me and Little Joe are going to split $25 for every wrestling match.
$25 after every wrestling match. Win or lose? Huh?
Well, I don't... Little Joe, what...
Well, you gotta win him.
And you make sure that Tweedy pays you for the ones that you might win.
Now, look, we've been with you for 3.5 weeks now, Angus. Bearcat's fine. He can go back into the ring. We've made our final tally. You owe us $400.
Boys, as I look back, I think I was a little hasty in making our deal.
Meaning what?
Well, expenses are high nowadays, mighty high. And, the truth is, I'm flat broke.
Oh, well, that couldn't be because of those high-stake poker games you get into in every single town we hit, could it?
Now, see here, Cartwright.
Now, you see here, Mr. Tweedy. Little Joe's right, and you know it. Every penny we've made for you just goes in one hand right out the other in them dang poker games you play.
Yeah? Well, I won a few hands, too.
Well, fine. That's fine. And all you gotta do is pay us the 400 honest American dollars you owe us right now.
Our money, Mr. Tweedy.
But you boys don't understand. There's children involved. And a little mother.
Now listen, Tweedy. Hoss and I were honest with you. We were real honest with you. And all we want is the $400 you owe us right now.
Now, violence will get you nothing. I'll pay you some way.
Hey, Paul!
Well, how are you?
Well, the lost souls return.
Hey!
Well, it's good to see you.
Adam, how you doing?
Yes, sir, we're back, and me and Little Joe ain't above saying it's nice to be aboard again.
Well, we are educated.
Well, it's sure good to have you back.
Amen. One more week with this slave-driving father of ours, and I'd have been ready to take up wrestling myself.
Your older brother's learned a little appreciation while you boys have been gone. Yeah, break up the team, it gets a little tougher, doesn't it? Huh?
Right.
Well, Hoss, you won them all, didn't you?
Oh, boy. I was just lucky.
Oh, lucky heck, boy. It was fantastic, really. Nobody could dent them. One right after the other. Pinned them all.
Ah, Joe, don't get carried away. I was.
Well, Hoss, obviously it must have been good. Look at all the money you made. Well, little Joe wrote about $400.
Yeah, but you told us once, Paul, a little bit of 100% is better than nothing at all.
A sad story is about to begin.
Now, we didn't come back empty-handed, if that's what you're getting at. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, is there something we should worry about?
Well, no, just that we decided not to take the cold cash. We thought it'd be better if we took it out in livestock instead.
Oh, well. Sometimes that's very good business. You boys have a good eye for good-blooded stock. Well, where is it? I'd like to see it.
Well, it's out in the barn.
Well, let's have a look.
Well, come on, let's go. After looking at nothing but railroad ties, anything else is bound to look good. Even something that Tweety stuck you with.
If I wrestled like you manage, I'd be in the hospital.
Well, how many times have I told you, don't worry?
Many. Paul, wait! Wait a minute, Paul. Just hold up a minute. Wait.
We just want to say, we know we should have taken the money.
Oh, now, look, little Joe, you know what I've always said? A good head of stock is worth its weight in gold in this part of the country.
Oh, we got a real bonanza in there, Pa.
Look, Paul, there's something you got to understand. See, me and little Joe.
Now, look, Hoss, like I said before, I trust your judgment. Now let me see this animal that you took instead of cash.
Yes, sir. Look, Paul, old Sheba's as tame as a plow horse right after a hard day's work in the field.
This is what Tweety gave you for hard cash?
Well, he was broke, Pa.
What do you think you're going to do with an elephant?
Oh, hey, Paul, maybe we could train her to plow.
I gotta admit, there's a lot of livestock there.
I just don't believe it. I really don't believe it. I don't believe that two reasonably intelligent young men could leave home for a couple of weeks and come back with an elephant.
But Paul, she's tame. Well, she can.
Hey, she is tame. Let me show you what she can do, Pa. Really, she is tame. Come on.
Come here, Sheba.
Sheba,
come on,
come
come
on.
on, Sheba. Come on, Sheba. Come on, come on.
What do you see, Pa?
Sheba. Oh, Sheba. Down, Sheba.
Down, Sheba.
All the way down, Sheba. All the way.
That's it. That's it. Up, Sheba. Come on, Sheba.
Whoa, Sheba. Down, Sheba.
Down, Sheba. Good old elephant. Up, Sheba. Up, Sheba.
Get rid of her.
What's the matter, Pa? Don't you like her?
Joseph, that peanut burner will spook the livestock. Come winter, she'll lead us out of house and home.
Yeah, and there's a touch of fall in the air.
Oh, boy. Tweety really slickered you fellas pretty good. Now, you take that elephant back and get the hard cash.
Pa, we can't do that.
Oh, you can, huh? And why not?
Because we signed a paper saying we take the elephant instead of the cash.
Now, look. I want that elephant out of here by the time I get back from town. Is that understood? I gotta go in and wire Ramsey, find out when he wants the ties delivered so we can start floating them down Snake Creek.
Well, I got the ties cut, but getting them down off the mountain, I'm afraid, is going to be a job for the lost souls here.
Yeah. Adam's done more than his share.
Hey, Pa, you know, I was just thinking, since you're going to go into town anyway, I thought maybe you might just talk to Angus Tweedy about taking old Sheba back. And we could go in with you and watch you negotiate the way only you can negotiate, Pa. We could learn something.
Yeah, I guess you would learn something. You'll learn how to negotiate those ties down Snake Creek. Adam, you show him the way.
I'll show him the way, but I've touched my last railroad tie.
Are you going to talk to Mr. Tweedy for us? Please?
Boss, now tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That elephant, is she real gentle like you say?
She sure is, Pa. She's as gentle as an old hound dog.
Give me that.
He's the greatest.
You know that stage is more than a half hour late. Look in.
Starting your own circus, Ben? Raising the body bit sock at Ponderosa.
No, I'd never believe that in the wide world if I didn't see it myself.
All right, Sheba. Up, up, up. Roy, is Tweety still in town?
Yeah, he's pitching his tent right down the street there.
Oh, good. Mr. Tweedy is going to convert this animal here into hard cash.
Good.
Come on, Sheba.
Bye, Sheba.
I remember one time you unloaded Sheba 3 times. Only to have it back when the new owner couldn't afford a feed bill. Yes, sir, Tweety, you sure got him coming and going.
Now, you see here, Bearcat.
Don't look now, but here comes part of your family.
Sheba, come here. You hold it. Hold it. Now,
Sheba, my old Sheba. You don't know how much I've missed you, old girl.
I'm Ben Cartwright.
How do you do, Mr. Cartwright? Have the boys been taking good care of old Sheba?
Well, if you mean by that, has she been eating good? You might say that they've been taking extra good care of her.
I've missed the old gal something fierce.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Because, you know, I think she's missed you, too. So why don't you give me the money that you owe my sons, and you can get Sheba back, and you can both be happy with each other.
Oh, I'd love to, Mr. Cartwright, but I'm flat broke. I'm sure the boys told you I had a couple of losing poker hands, and...
Mr. Tweedy, how much cold cash could you raise right now to take Sheba off my hands?
Well, fond as I am of old Sheba, she ain't getting any younger.
Tweedy?
And with feet so high, why... Mr. Cartwright, way I figure it, old Sheba would be much happier living a life of ease out on your ranch. Here at the circus, she really works for her food. No, sir, Mr. Cartwright. I couldn't deny old Sheba this chance to live out her days without a care.
You really have a heart of gold, don't you, Mr. Tweedy? Well, who do you think you're trying to flim-flam this time? My sons again? Now, if you think an elephant never forgets... Come on, Sheba. Come on. Now go to sleep, Sheba. You say, Sheba. Mr. Anderson, owning Sheba would bring customers to your store from miles around, from all over the countryside, just to see her.
Not interested, Ben.
Now, Mr. Anderson, now just think of this. You get a painted canvas, and you put it over Sheba. And on the canvas, along the side, are the words, Anderson Mercantile. And you parade her all over the countryside, advertising your store.
No. No, not interested.
Mr. Anderson, I'll sell her cheap.
How much?
$400.
$400? I've been thinking in terms of $50 or $60. Now you say 400. Hey, stop her, Ben.
Sheba!
Come on, get
out! Get out of there, Sheba! Sorry, Mr. Anderson.
You should be. You just bought a sack of peanuts.
Ben, I got a complaint about you and that elephant.
Complaint? What for?
Oh, for just about scaring to death that horse and rider was on the street here yesterday.
Well, I got just as much right in the street as that cowboy.
Now, Ben, I ain't going to argue that legal point with you, but you're just going to have to get rid of that elephant.
I know, Roy.
You want to pay cash for those peanuts, or should I put it on your bill?
Put it on my bill. All right, come on, Sheba. Now, let's go. Sheba, come on.
One word from him and she does as she pleases.
All right. But just as soon as that darn elephant is finished eating those peanuts, you, Roy Coffey, are coming with me officially to call on Mr. Angus Tweedy.
Yes, sir.
My deal with the Cartwright boys was all fair and square, Sheriff. They signed that paper.
And I say that you knew this would happen all along.
Sir, you make me out as a conniving scoundrel.
Oh, you bet. In spades.
Sheriff, has this man any legal claim against me?
Nope, not at all. Ben, I'm afraid he's got the winning hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you do have the winning hand, Mr. Tweedy. Take her. She's yours.
Take her. I told you yesterday I didn't want her. She's getting old, remember?
All right, Tweedy. How much do you want to take Sheba back?
Well, I reckon about $200 might change my mind.
$200? Did you hear him say $200, Roy?
Just turning her into hard cash.
What? That's plain blackmail. That's what it is. Just ordinary plain blackmail.
Ben, it all depends on which end you're on.
Roy, if I didn't know better, I'd swear that you were in cahoots with him.
I'm just trying to be impartial, Ben.
Impartial? Roy,
I campaigned for you in your last election. That was the last election.
Now, wait a minute, Ben. I'm just trying to do my duty.
I ain't gonna pay nobody no $200 to take this bag of pachyderm off my hands.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know this. I want that pachyderm either chained up or out of Virginia City by sundown. Do you understand?
Oh, my. Sure been a pretty day, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hey, I wonder how Pa's making out.
I'll bet you he's turned old Tweety every way but loose.
Yeah.
Sure wish I had some of Pa's good business sense.
Yeah, Pa and I have an awful lot in common in that area. You know what I was thinking, too? I wouldn't be a bit surprised if maybe Pa gets a little more than the $400, a little extra profit.
Look, Joe, if he just gets us our 400 back and breaks us even, I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, amen. Of course, you never can tell.
Yeah, never can tell.
You just can't stand to see me and little Joe make a few extra dollars, can you, Adam?
Apparently, Pa can't either.
Whoa! Sheba. Down, Sheba. All the way down, Sheba. Rise, Sheba, rise.
Hey, Paul, what's the deal? Mr. Tweedy gonna come out here to pick up old Sheba?
Nope.
Hey, well, you did talk to Mr. Tweedy like you promised, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh, you made plans to have Mr. Tweedy pick Sheba up later.
Nope.
She finally got to you, didn't she, Paul? You kind of like her now, don't you? Decided to keep her, huh?
Well, I decided that since she was really your problem, I wouldn't want to weaken your character, but not allowing you to shoulder your own responsibility.
That's one way out.
What did you say?
I say you're right. They'll have to go all out.
But Paul, you promised us you'd do the negotiating.
Yeah, we were counting on you, Pa. As a matter of fact, we thought you'd even get us more than the $400.
Now, look. I've got more important things to do than negotiate with a larcenous old man and a gluttonous elephant. And incidentally, nobody votes for Roy Coffey next election. Now, about the ties. Ramsey wants them delivered to the spur in a week.
Yeah, Paul, about them ties.
Adam, did you show the boys where you cut them?
I sure did. They're all roughed out and stacked.
Good. Then you can start floating them down in the morning.
We can't.
Now, Joseph, I've had 2 very tough days, and I'm in no mood.
Pa, little Joe's telling the plain truth for a change.
And what's that?
Oh, Paul, the creek run dry.
Creek's gone dry?
Yep. Yeah.
Gods have turned against me. All right, look. First thing in the morning, we'll put on our thinking caps, and we'll try to figure out some way of getting those blasted logs down off that mountain.
I'll get right at it, Pa.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Paul. I'll set the alarm clock extra early in the morning, jump right up and get right to thinking.
That reminds me of a thing. I want an around-the-clock sentry duty on that elephant while she's here at the ranch.
Starting in the morning?
Around the clock, horse.
What for? She's tame.
She's tame, all right. She's also sneaky.
Look, Pa, if you want me to figure out how to get those logs off the mountain, I've got to get some sleep.
Joseph, just keep your eye on her.
Get it, Sheba. That ain't funny. You ain't nothing but a nuisance. Just like Paul said, you're sneaky, too. It's time for little Joe to relieve me. I'm gonna go get him. You stay right here. And don't you move. You stay right here, and I'll be back. You hear? You stay. You stay here. You stay there now, Sheba. Look out. You stay there. Stop it! Sheba! Sheba! I mean it! Now you stop it! You hear? Stop it! Stop it! Sheba. I don't know why you're so dang squirrely. I'm just going up there to wake up little Joe. You really done it now. Oh, Sheba. No, Sheba. Whoa, Sheba. No, Sheba. Whoa. Sheba. Whoa. Sheba. Whoa. Doggone it. You wouldn't follow me in the house, would you? I reckon you want that. Call little Joe from out here then. You stay, Sheba, stay. Joe! Oh, Sheba. Hey, Joe!
Hey. Well, what are you doing? Breaking all the windows in the house. You know, Pa's gonna really get angry at you.
I thought you was up there asleep.
Sleeping? Are you kidding? But up there thinking. I'm worn out. But I think I finally came up with an idea.
Yeah? What is it?
Now, here's what we're gonna do.
Like I told you, Pa, $200 and I take old Sheba off your hands.
$200? No wonder Paul was in such a state when he come home yesterday, Joe.
Well, make up your mind, boys. Bearcat and me are moving today.
Yeah, and how are you gonna get along with that old Sheba?
Easy, son. Made me enough at poker last night to buy us a real fine mule. Don't need old Sheba, nohow. Only use her to haul the wagon and attract attention. I can make just as much off Bearcat without her.
Is that right?
That's right, son. So put up or shut up.
You know, Hoss, it's just like Pa said, live and learn.
Yep. Take the bad with the good.
Yep. Or if you can't lick 'em, join 'em, right?
What do you mean by that?
Just like my brother Hoss said. You see, Mr. Tweedy, we've been thinking very seriously about going in the circus business ourselves.
What?
Well, why not? We got everything you've got and more. Got old Sheba here to pull the wagon. Got brother Hoss here to wrestle all comers.
You can't do that.
Oh, can and will, Mr. Tweedy. Town for town. Same towns you're in.
You see, Mr. Tweedy, we got a little angle all figured out of our own. We'll come over and I'll wrestle a Bearcat, and after I whoop him, then we'll invite all of your customers over to our tent, and I'll take on all the challengers.
You can't.
Oh, live and learn, Mr. Tweedy. Put up or shut up.
Yeah, gotta take the bad with the good.
All right. Even Steven. I take old Sheba back, period.
Just a minute. There's also a matter of $400 you owe us. With interest.
And not a cent less.
I ain't got a penny. Paid all my poker winnings for the mule.
We'll take the mule.
Sold. She's up at Barney's stable.
Come on, Hoss.
Sheba, sure wish we could afford it, you.
Oh, it's one appetite like yours is enough for any family.
First time I've seen you took.
Took? I got old Sheba back, ain't I? I got Haas to work for us for nothing, didn't I? All it cost me was a spavin mule I won in a poker game. The man ain't been born that can take Angus Tweedy.
It takes real managerial brains to get along nowadays, you know?
Yeah, I reckon.
Hey, you know, wait till Pa hears about the deal we just pulled off.
Yeah, I reckon we did sort of pin old Angus the mat, didn't we?
Oh, we did that? Hey, you know something I was wondering? I'm just wondering what a real fine mule will fetch right now.
I don't know, Joe, but he's got to be pretty valuable. You know, Angus ain't one to be took.
Oh, horse, I'm worn out.
Yeah, it was a long ride for you, Joe.
Hello, Adam.
Uh-huh.
Well, where have you fellas been?
Well, wait till you hear.
One thing at a time. I have come up with the solution to our problem.
Yeah, but I just want to tell you about old Sheba.
Exactly, old Sheba. Now, we need a physical force to bring those ties down off the mountain, right? Now, the creek's dried up, so that physical force is gone, right? Now, there's no road up there, lots of rocks. So we daren't use horses for fear of breaking legs, right? Now, what other physical force do we have in the Ponderosa right here and now?
Horse?
Oh, no. Come on, think now. Try to figure out how do you use one problem to solve another problem. Well, what other problem do we have?
Old Sheba?
Exactly, old Sheba.
You know, I remember seeing pictures once of elephants in India. They're hauling whole trees.
That's exactly right, Adam. So you put a harness on Sheba, put a sled behind her, and she'll haul those ties down from that mountain as pretty as you please.
Pa?
Now, come on, get Sheba out of the barn. Let's get going.
Well, Pa,
Well, what?
Well,
Speak right up, little manager. Speak right up.
we see Horse and I took old Sheba into town and slickered Mr. Tweedy into taking her back pretty as you please.
Yeah, we slickered him.
What?
Oh, we didn't come back empty-handed. Oh, there's a... Look, Dad. Was the only thing of real value.
must be raining a deluge up on that mountain. Oh, Snake Creek will be running in a matter of minutes.
You can't win them all, Hoss.
Did you hear that? Snake Creek's got water in it. It's gonna be flooding. It's gonna be full, Joe. There's water in Snake Creek. Water.
Yahoo! There's water in Snake Creek. That's what we've been waiting for, Hoss. Yeah? Water in Snake Creek. You know what that means? That now you can enter the annual Snake Creek Canoe Contest. $1,000. $1,000.
$1,000? Wow.
And all you need is a good manager and a big, big canoe.
Yeah. $1,000. Wow.
Now, here's what I'm gonna do for you.
Now, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your kind attention. Now, to continue with the demonstration. You must remember one thing. Pocket billiards, sometimes commonly referred to as pool, is a gentleman's game. It should be a very good game for you, gentlemen. Now, for my next shot, I would like to demonstrate one that requires all the science and skill of this wonderful game. It's called the bank shot.
That fellow there sold me the table. He's gonna be staying in town a couple of weeks to demonstrate and give some lessons. Hey, Hoss, why don't you give it a try?
Oh, no, Sam, come on. It looks a little fancy for me.
Oh, come on, Hoss, try it.
You heard him, Sam. Besides, didn't you hear the man say it's a gentleman's game?
Big game back east. That's where they invented it.
Your pardon, sir. For your information, the game of pocket billiards is not only a most honorable one, but a very ancient one to boot. Certainly, it was known in Shakespeare's day.
Is that a fact?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it Antony and Cleopatra, Act 2, now Scene 5, where Shakespeare has Cleopatra say, "Let us to billiards. Come, Carmion." Shakespeare, and you, sir?
My name's Cartwright, Hoss Cartwright.
I know. Mr. William Shakespeare and Mr. Hoss Cartwright. My name is Parker, Whitney Parker. At times my friends call me Whit. And upon other occasions, my legal opponents call me Half-Wit.
You a lawyer?
That's what it says in my diploma, yes.
You figuring on hanging around Virginia City?
Maybe. Maybe. I kind of like the looks of things around here.
Now, that, gentlemen, is called the break shot. That starts off the game. Now, which one of you gentlemen would like to try to take this cue and put some of those balls in the pocket? Well, now, really, gentlemen, I'm offering you a great opportunity here to learn this game. It's an awful lot of fun. Won't cost you 1 cent. I'm sure, gentlemen, that you... What, don't I have any takers?
I'm giving 2 to 1 he doesn't even hit that little ball with a stick. How about it, Cartwright?
You got your big brother's permission to bet?
Never mind, my brother. How much you want to bet?
Oh, make it 25 against your 50. You got to bet.
Sure.
I think I'd better show you how to hold the cue. This is the cue.
You, sir, are a magnificent instructor. You have my highest recommendation.
$50, Mr. Durfee.
You and his tin horn are in cahoots. You're nothing but a dirty swindler, Cartwright. The bet's off.
My compliments, sir. A beautiful break shot with nature's own cue stick. If you should ever need any legal advice, Mr. Cartwright, feel free to call on me. For you, my good man. Keep the change. Gentlemen, good day.
Let's hope you'll never need a lawyer that bad, Hoss.
Hi, Benji.
Hi, Mr. Cartwright. I ain't seen you in a long time.
Well, I've been busy the last couple of weeks out the ranch. Hey, Benji, you wanna do me a big favor? Take a look at that right foreleg on that horse of mine. He's been limping something fierce, and you got such a good way with animals.
Sure. Just as soon as I...
Oh, here. Oh, ain't no use me fooling around with something like this when there's something important to do, like taking care of my horse.
Can't find nothing wrong with him, Mr. Cartwright.
I'll be dead, Bart. Well, the old son of a gun's kind of moody, Benji. I reckon he's just in a mood to limp. I'll walk it out of him. Look at him. What I tell you about his being moody, see, now he's in the mood to walk.
Mr. Cartwright, think I'll ever be big and strong like you?
I don't know, Benji. That sort of depends on how big your folks was.
My pa sure ain't big. My grandpa, he was a real big one, they say. Monstrous.
Well, in that case, Benji, if you'll concentrate on it real hard, I'll bet you one of these days you'll make it.
I'll sure try, Mr. Cartwright. I'll bust my britches trying. Well, I gotta go now. Bye-bye.
So long, Benji.
Watch this one, boys. And now I shall demonstrate a shot executed in the most difficult manner possible. Watch carefully. Gentlemen, thank you for the game. Yeah, why don't you fellas divvy these up between you, huh? How do, Mr. Cartwright?
Howdy, Mr. Parker. How are you, sir? Pretty fancy shooting there.
Huh? Oh, well,
I see you Hung out your shingle already.
Yes, I thought I'd stay around for a while. Oh, by the way, that offer of mine still holds good. I think I can always manage to squeeze in another client.
Yeah, well, good. I'm in need of a little advice, as a matter of fact. I just been called as a witness on a lawsuit.
That's so. Come on in, tell me about it. You know, Hoss, since I last saw you, I've been pretty busy handing out free legal advice in between shooting some pocket billiards and playing marbles with some future clients.
You don't even keep the marbles. That ain't no way to get rich.
Oh, no. Hold on. All my advice isn't free. Besides, I got a big case coming up.
DeWitt Parker, the companion of the Illinois 8th Circuit, from his friend A. Lincoln.
Yes, I was proud to be his partner.
Another lawyer, huh?
Not just another lawyer. That's Abe Lincoln. The Abraham Lincoln, leader of the Illinois bar. Oh, not the kind of bar that I've been frequenting lately. You know, back east, there's some talk of him running for president. Oh, he's a great man. First-rate marble player, too.
I ain't never heard of a president of the United States being a marble player.
Well, he may be the first if he's nominated. Yeah, he just loves to play marbles with those two boys of his, Willie and Tad, you know, and their friends. Bowls a good game of 10-pins, too, with those long arms of his, you know?
Well, what else is he good at besides marbles and 10-pins?
Well, one thing, he'd tell you a joke, make you split your sides laughing.
Well, take it from me. A man like that ain't gonna never be president of the United States. He ain't serious-minded enough. The president's gotta be serious and smart.
Oh, he's smart, all right. He's smart, it's just that, he uses a joke maybe to illustrate a point, you know, like when he and Mr. Stephen Douglas having those debates back in Quincy, you know, when they're both running for United States Senator. I remember one time he said, Mr. Douglas, he says, that argument of yours is about as measly soup you'd get from boiling the shadow of a pigeon that's been starved to death.
That is a good one.
Hoss, I brought you in here to talk about your case, and here instead I'm talking about Mr. Lincoln. I'm afraid that's an old habit of mine.
Sort of nasty business. It involves the Durfee brothers.
The Durfees?
Yeah. Remember that feller that tried to welsh on that bet with me in the saloon that day when me and you first met?
Yeah, I know the Durfees. What about him?
Well, that one's Ev. Now, he ain't nothing but a bully. But his brother Flint, he's a smart one. Sometimes a little bit too smart. For years, he's been trying to wrangle the water rights off of old Nat Sheldon. And those water rights are about the only thing that was worth leaving that Nat left his family. And now, Flint Durfee's trying to steal them from him.
Steal them? Yeah, that's a pretty strong statement, Hoss.
Well, not in this case, it ain't. See, I know Flint Durfee.
Flint Durfee's hired me to be his lawyer.
You got yourself a pretty rotten case then, Mr. Parker.
I'm not the kind of lawyer who's going to get mixed up in anything shady.
You have now.
Well, now, you seem to know more about this case than I do.
Yeah, I probably do. Look, Mr. Parker, about 3 weeks ago, I rode out to Nat Sheldon's place. Nat's been sick for several days. I found him laying there on the sofa in his parlor with a pen still in his hand. And Flint Durfee pocketing a piece of paper while his brother Ev looked on. That piece of paper signed over the water rights to the Sheldon place to Flint Durfee for nearly nothing. He'd been sick. He's clear out of his head. Now old Nat's dead, and Flint Durfee's watering his herd on the Sheldon place. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be in court backing up young Nat Sheldon's case against that fraud.
I've never asked you to use what little brains you've got, only your muscles. You can't even use those.
But Flint...
All you had to do was throw those squatters off our land. That's all. Just throw them off.
But Flint, they had guns. You want me to get shot or something?
Come in.
sheer honor. Be mighty careful with him. His bite's worse than a rattlesnake's.
Of course, come on, you're making me nervous. I take it he lost the case.
Look, Whip, why'd you let them two buffalo you like that just now?
Buffalo me? My friend, it is better to yield your path to a mad dog than to be bitten by him in contesting the right of way. Besides, killing the dog wouldn't cure the bite, now would it?
That sounds like some more of that talk from your friend, Mr. Lincoln.
The fact of the matter it is.
Well, you don't back down from a man.
Hoss, you don't think I took that childish performance of Durfee's seriously now, do you?
Look, Whit, Flint Durfee ain't no child. You can't be afraid or weak. Not and survive, not out here. See, I gotta be running.
Oh, how about you and me playing a little pocket buddies? Huh? Come on, I'll teach you the game.
I got a bunch of business I gotta take care of with.
Tonight?
Well, I'm gonna be busy tonight, too. I'm leaving town in the morning. I'll see you.
All right.
Hiya, Benji.
Hi, Mr. Cartwright. Mind if I walk with you?
No, enjoy the company. You don't want to stay up too late, though. It might stunt your growth.
Well, I just had to stay up late fixing up these packages for Mrs. Gentry. Usually I get to bed pretty early, though. I think I just grew some since last week, don't you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think you grew something right then.
I gotta deliver these packages now, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, I'll see you in the morning, Benji.
Night, Mr. Cartwright.
Let me by, Durfee.
The street's plenty wide.
Get out of my way.
I'll take care of him, Flint.
No! Hey, what's all the shooting about?
Hurry, Sheriff, hurry!
Gotta get the doctor. Looks like somebody's been shot.
He shot my brother. Hoss Cartwright killed him. He killed him in cold blood.
There you are, Ben.
Thank you, Roy. How's the head?
Well, it's feeling a whole lot bigger, but not a whole lot better, I'm afraid.
Boss, I'm not going to be able to get you out on bail. Ev Durfee made it hard all around. Even got him to get an outside prosecuting attorney.
Who?
Byron Evans of Carson.
Oh, boy. A real hanging prosecutor.
He's never failed to convict.
Let's hope that this time we can spoil his record.
Yeah, I sure hope so. And that's why I think we need the best man we can possibly get, no matter who, Hoss.
Paul already got a lawyer, Whit Parker.
Now, that's what I'm trying to get at, Hoss. Nobody knows him. You hardly know him. He's a stranger whose best friend is a bottle.
Well, that's one that Ev Durfee started.
Look, Hoss, now you know very well that it's hard enough for a lawyer to try a case when he's sober. And Mr. Parker is a hard drinker. Isn't he?
Paul, all I know is that Whit Parker ain't gonna let drinking get in the way of doing the best job he can for me. Paul, he's smart. He's real smart. If I'd listened to his advice, I wouldn't be here now.
Hoss, I'm talking about your life. We can't risk this man.
That's right, Paul. It is my life. And that's why I need to have the choice in deciding who's going to defend it. Look, Paul, he's heard my side of it, and he says we got an easy case.
Easy case? No murder case is easy. It needs intelligent handling. It needs a man...
Paul, Whit Parker ain't a nobody like you think. Back in Illinois, he was a very important lawyer. One of his best friends is Abraham Lincoln. You've heard of him, ain't you?
Yes. Yes, I've heard of him. If Mr. Parker was such a big and important man back in Illinois, why did he leave there to come out here? Why? Would you send that off, please?
Mr. Abraham Lincoln, Springfield, Illinois. Do you know lawyer Whitney Parker? If so, please telegraph this city, collect your judgment of Parker as defense attorney in murder trial. He is defending my son. Signed, Ben Cartwright.
Meanwhile, let's make sure this Mr. Parker doesn't get drunk and lose the case. Not this case.
Whit?
That's Byron Evans, the special prosecutor. I'd, like to get to meet him over a game of pocket billiards. Never does any harm to get to know your enemy.
Your enemy's inside, all right, but it's in a bottle.
Madam, I don't need a nursemaid.
Let's just keep walking, huh?
Your Honor, gentlemen of the jury, this is a crime so heinous, so dastardly, as to freeze the very marrow of your bones. The prosecution will prove that the defendant, Hoss Cartwright, did, without provocation, with malice aforethought, and with premeditation, shoot and murder an unarmed victim. The unfortunate Flint Durfee. A person so ill-treated by fate that he had to use a cane to support his poor, crippled body. We will show that when Flint Durfee's heroic efforts to fend off his brutal assailant with his staff, his cane, his crutch, as it were, failed, the end was merciless, cold-blooded, black-hearted murder by the miserable assassin sitting there. I ask, I demand that Horse Cartwright pay the penalty for that murder, that he be hung by the neck until he is dead, dead, dead.
He sure paints a pretty picture, don't he?
Any word from Mr. Lincoln?
No, not a word. I just came back from the telegraph office. Nothing.
He probably thinks the whole thing's a hoax. He's never heard of Parker.
Just try to convince Hoss of that. See this, if we don't hear pretty soon, I'm gonna get another lawyer, whether Hoss likes it or not.
Your Honor, gentlemen of the jury, I should like to compliment the prosecuting attorney on his fine display of eloquence. Indeed, one might say of Mr. Evans, as has been said of the great Daniel Webster, that when he speaks, he just shines his eyes, throws out his arms, and twirls his tongue around a couple of times, opens his mouth, and leaves the consequences to heaven. And now, if you would be gracious enough to overlook my lack of eloquence, we shall prove that since my client, Horse Cartwright, is innocent, the only other person at the scene of the crime other than the deceased is guilty. Ev Durfee.
Mr. Durfee, will you please tell us, in your own words, what happened the tragic night your brother was shot down?
Well, sir, as Flint and I turned the corner and we were walking along, we met Horse Cartwright.
Let me by, Cartwright.
Street's plenty wide, Durfee.
Out of my way, Cartwright!
What are you gonna do? You gonna hit me with that cane, Flint? It's about time somebody's teaching you a lesson.
I'll take care of him, Flint.
No!
He shot my brother. Horse Cartwright killed him. And that's the living truth.
He's a living liar.
You're a witness, Mr. Parker?
Mr. Durfee, is it not true that for years your brother used you as a sort of protector?
Well, if you mean protecting him from murderers such as Horse Cartwright, yes.
Except that you didn't finally protect him from murder, did you? You loved your brother.
Well, yeah, sure.
Why did you love him?
Huh?
What was there about him that made you love him?
Well, I can't answer such a dumb question as that.
Very well, then. Tell me, why did you hate him?
What?
What did you hate more? That he was rich and paid you off in a cowhand's measly salary? Or that he was smart and he was contemptuous of your ignorance? That he commanded and you groveled? What did you hate most? Tell me.
I see here, Your Honor,
That is an unfair question, Mr. Parker. The witness need not answer.
No more questions.
What?
Call Hoss Cartwright to the stand. And then?
Well, then I did sure enough meet up with Flint Durfee, just like his brother said. But I wasn't going to let Flint Durfee buffalo me like he did Mr. Parker. Let me by, Durfee.
The streets plenty wide.
Get out of my way.
I'll take care of him, Flint.
No!
When Flint hit me with his cane, my gun went off in the air and I almost blacked out. My head cleared and I saw that Ev had shot his brother. That's the way it really happened.
Thank you, Hoss. Your witness?
No questions.
Very well, Hoss. You may step down. Your Honor, gentlemen of the jury, we now have one man's word against another. But there was a third witness to the murder. And that is Benji Lane.
It's just like Mr. Cartwright said. I saw Skinflint Durfee hit him with his big old cane, and Mr. Hoss was hurt something awful, and his gun went up in the air.
Thank you, Benji.
Just a moment, Benji.
Yes, sir?
You and Hoss Cartwright are great friends, aren't you, Benji?
We sure are.
Hoss Cartwright's a hero to you. Someone you want to grow up to be like. Now, isn't that so, Benji?
Yes, sir.
Just how much do you really like him?
Well, like I told you, a whole lot.
Enough to lie for him? If it would save his life.
I object, Your Honor.
Objection's overruled. Answer the question, Benji.
Sure, I'd lie to save his life.
But, Benji, when you told your story on the stand here just now, you didn't lie then, did you?
No, sir. I told exactly what I saw.
Good boy. Good boy.
Dr. Kleiser, you performed the autopsy on the deceased, Mr. Flint Durfee. I did, sir. Using yourself as a model doctor, would you show the course taken by the fatal bullet?
Yes, sir. The bullet entered an inch above the navel, here. And it lodged an inch to the right of the fifth lumbar vertebra, here.
About 5 inches lower. Note that, gentlemen. Then what direction did the bullet take, Doctor?
Why, downward, of course. Cartwright and his victim were both in an upright position. The gun was slanting down when fired.
I object, Your Honor. That is an opinion of the witness.
On the contrary, it is incontrovertible evidence. If, as counselor contends, Mr. Ev Durfee shot his brother, the course of the bullet would have had to have been upwards. But it didn't go up. It went down. Down, gentlemen, down. Proving that Hoss Cartwright is not only a liar, but guilty of unprovoked attack and cold-blooded murder!
Order! Order in the court! Order! 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 Order in the court! Order! Order! Order in the court! Order! Order! Order in the court!
Hoss, your father wants me to withdraw from the case.
Now, look, Paul, don't you realize the dangerous situation you're in? Do you realize that if something doesn't happen before that court reopens this afternoon, that jury will go out with a foregone verdict? Paul, I'm sure that will. Mr. Parker doesn't seem to have one notion of an idea.
That's right, Hoss. Right now, I don't have one idea.
Mr. Parker, I seem to recall that you told my son this would be an easy case. Well, what happened? How come you haven't the same information Evans had?
Because I believed what your son told me, Mr. Cartwright.
Don't you still believe me?
Yes, Hoss, but... Oh, maybe when Flint struck you, you fired at him without really knowing.
No. No, I was dizzy, but I wasn't that dizzy. My gun went off in the air.
Yeah, well, maybe a new lawyer will be able to come up with something.
I don't want a new lawyer.
Hoss.
Stick with me.
I think maybe Sam, I told you what happened with Mr. Lincoln and me. He was traveling the 8th Judicial District, you know, and he shares his cases in different towns with different lawyers. I was his associate in Clinton, Illinois. We were trying an important case. Mr. Lincoln had to leave town before we finished, so I took over on my own. And then some trouble come up at home. I went out and got roaring drunk. First time ever, you know, but while I was working. That is, I made a spectacle of myself. Lost the case. I was afraid to face my client and Mr. Lincoln, mostly Mr. Lincoln, so I just decided to run off, heading for California. Wound up this far. And...
Look, Whit, do me a favor. Don't run away this time.
Hoss, believe me, you'd be much better off with some other lawyer.
Mr. Parker!
Hey, Benji!
How's my friend, Mr. Hoss? You gonna be all right?
I hope so, son, yes.
Well, gee, I don't know why they don't believe Mr. Hoss and me. We wouldn't lie about a thing like that.
I know that, Benji, but you see, the medical testimony.
But it was as plain as day, Mr. Parker.
I know. I know that's what you testified in court, Benji, and we appreciate it.
You tell Mr. Hoss I'll do that testifying again, anytime he wants me.
I'll tell him so. Thanks, Benji.
Mr. Parker?
I'm whiskey, but...
Mr. Parker, are you sure?
I'm sure. Of course.
Your Honor?
Yes?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a request.
Well, what is it, Mr. Cartwright?
I'd like to request a little time to hire a new attorney.
Mr. Cartwright! Mr. Cartwright, sir, will you please, would you postpone that request?
Well, Mr. Parker, you voluntarily withdrew from...
I know, sir, but I have an idea. I realize your son's life is at stake, but do you think you could give me one more chance?
All right. Your Honor, I withdraw the request.
Very well.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I have a request that I believe essential to the defense.
Well, what is it, Mr. Parker?
I request that the billiard table in the Silverado Saloon be brought into this courtroom.
I object, Your Honor, at this indignity. But this is a trial, not a circus.
Your Honor, Horse Cartwright has more than mere dignity to lose. I beg that you grant my request. I now call Mr. Byron Evans to the stand.
Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, I don't think it necessary that you be sworn in. But as a fellow enthusiast of the ancient and honorable game of pocket billiards, may I ask you, please, to demonstrate your expert technique for the gentlemen of the jury?
Mr. Parker, is this relevant to your defense?
I assure you, Your Honor, it is most relevant. Mr. Evans, if you please.
By all means.
Thank you. Now would you straighten up, please, Mr. Evans? Please observe very carefully, gentlemen, that the point here in the front where the cue touches Mr. Evans' chest, now that he has straightened up, is higher than the back portion of the cue where it would touch him here. However, before, when he was bent over, the point here in front, which is higher now, was lower than the point in back. Now, just for the moment, let us imagine that the billiard cue, held in this position, represents the line of fire of the bullet. Now, is this the way you saw them, Benji?
Yes, sir. Old Skinflint was bent over his brother, just like you are.
Can't you do anything right, you bumbling fool?
Now, the bullet hit Flint Durfee in the stomach, ranged upward and lodged in the lower back. Now observe. This represents the line of fire of the bullet. It looks as though it was fired downward. But, as you've just seen, it wasn't. No. It was fired upward. By Ev Durfee.
That's a lie!
Lying on your back as the brother you hated bent over you, trying to strike you with this cane, just as he had struck Horse Cartwright, knocking him temporarily senseless so that he didn't see how you shot your brother.
A lie!
I think the jury will decide who is lying, Mr. Durfee.
Thanks. Joe. Thank you very much.
Paul? Paul, what'd I tell you? Did I tell you I had a good lawyer?
Yeah, you sure did. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Parker, again, I just don't know how we can thank you, all of us.
You'll get your chance, Mr. Cartwright, when I send you my bill.
Mr. Cartwright! Mr. Cartwright! Mr. Cartwright!
Yes, Benji?
This telegram just came for you.
Oh,
Mr. Bartlett asked if I'd give it to you.
thank you, Benji. Parker? I think maybe you better read this.
Just returned from out of town. Replying to your inquiry, my friend Whitney Parker is a first-rate attorney. I would still trust him to defend my life. Tell him I have some cases needing his rare talents. A. Lincoln.
You know, Mr. Parker, you probably have more cases in this town than you can shake a shingle at. We sure be happy to have you around.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. Thank you very much, sir. But I'm kind of curious about some of these cases that Mr. Lincoln may have tucked up that long sleeve of his, you know. Besides, I've never been able to trim him at anything. Now, he can beat me bowling.
Marble shooting?
Marble shooting, yes. I'd like to get him into one game where I know I could beat him.
Like pocket billiards.
And it did save an innocent man's life, didn't it, Hoss? Seems to me that would be one argument he couldn't resist. Benji, is that Mr. Bartlett friend of yours, huh? I'm gonna send me a telegram.
Yeah.